first of all, there aren't enough journalists. Every year we have fewer journalists. And second of all, everybody has different skills. Everybody has different strengths. You know, there are people who can do video. There are people who can do data journalism. There are people who can understand documents. And what we have found working at ProPublica is that if you work with people who have these kinds of special skills, you have better stories. And, you know, it used to be the concept that if you work with somebody else, you were giving something away. And I believe, actually, if you work with something else, much more often you're gaining something. I think that what we're seeing is that less and less money comes into journalism through business. You know, the business was advertising, and now 90% of the world's advertising is online, and it's all controlled by Google and Facebook. So I think we're not going to have enough journalism if we can't find a way to add to what comes in through business. And so that is contributions, which is what we've been running ProPublica on. We have 35,000 donors who give small contributions, and then we have some wealthy individuals who help us, and some large, all kinds of different people who have money, and they have been willing to help, fund journalism, help fund something that is part of, I think, our civil society. Well, I think my biggest tip about trying to collaborate is, what Nike used to say, just do it, because I think so much of what people imagine isn't true. And so if you can get out and try to do something, you're on the way to success. And once you see it work, you will no longer be so frightened. I think most of the reason that people don't do it is the unknown. They imagine that it's going to be so difficult. They say to themselves, well, if people in our own newsroom have trouble working together, why would we be able to work with another news organization? And I think it's that kind of sort of negative thinking that prevents people from trying it. And once you try it, you see it's really not that hard. And sometimes it's even easier than in your own newsroom, actually. Some of the greatest things that I've ever been involved with have been collaborations where you work with a whole group of people and you have this incredible exhilaration in which you do something together that you could never have done by yourself, that neither news organization could ever have achieved on their own. And you see this kind of, it's a little bit like a jazz group, You can play a solo, but what if you get together and you get an idea from the other musician that takes you to something, and then you give an idea back to him, and back and forth it goes, and the end result is something that is more exciting than you ever thought of. And I think that's the greatest things I've ever done in journalism. So I think it's worth a try.